we're starting the batch juicing, if you like, but it's a bit later than what I anticipated, so I perhaps won't end up doing them all today, but I'll do the next couple of days and then do some more afterwards. This one that I'm doing now, how I like to do it when I'm doing the batching is I kind of leave the beetroot ones to the end because they're the messiest and they stain everything up a lot. So I like to just do anything that's a green or orange juice first, and then I'll do them other ones after. So I've prepped everything already and I've got it all sorted, ready to go in the machine. So this will do the 2 juices for morning and night tomorrow. This is called a sweet and smooth blend. It's got celery, lime, parsnip, broccoli, apple, cucumber, courgette, and that'll get mixed up with an avocado in the morning and tomorrow night. So Ruby, do you still want to put it in the machine? Ruby's going to pop it all in the machine, and then yeah, just put it all in. In fact, actually, put this in first because it's not doesn't seem to be taken. So we'll put that in at the bottom, and hopefully that'll push it all through. Yeah, everything else can just go on. The last one that I just did this morning, the celery didn't quite go through, so I've cut it up a little bit smaller to see if that helps. And then once that's juiced, I will pop them into these little bags. I've got one. Where's the other one gone? Must be right here at the bottom. So I'll pop them in here and then they will just go in the freezer. I'll lay them down in the freezer, and then when I need to get them out, I can just get them out, take them to work, let them defrost, and then pop them in with my avocado and ice that I'll take with me. But yeah, so that's how my preference to do it. That's not how you're meant to do it. If you're doing it by the proper juicing standards, it should be either little glass bottles and you want to try and fill them up as close as you can to the lid, to not let any air get in there to stop any oxidation. If you do that in a cold press, you can leave it in the fridge for up to 3 days, I think it is. If not, it's full. Okay, so we'll have to set it and then we'll have to go from there. In the freezer, I don't actually know what the time for the freezer is, but I'm only going to have them in there for a week. Right, just turn it around there. What? Just turn it to the right. You might need to use them. You probably won't need to use it yet, but when it starts filling up here, then we'll. Yeah, I'm a bit worried about the parsnip actually. Oh, a little wedging. We'll push that through. Yeah. That's because it's closed, you plonker. You just like to let it build up a bit in the vessel. This feels like it's going to make absolutely loads. Pass me that because the celery's got a bit, not that, sorry, that's not what I wanted. Watch out the way a minute, please. Right, hang on, so I'm going to open this now. Right, to get the rest of this stuff. That's just to help if anything gets stuck on the sides, then you can sort of wedge it around a little bit. All right. No, don't do that. Just go and get the. Oh, I've got it. I've got it. Pop it in here. Okay. And then just turn it back to the right again. still seems to be quite a little bit in here, which is a bit annoying. I feel like it definitely could have got a bit more out of this, but there's plenty there, but it would have been better if it would have got a little bit more. I'm seeming to be throwing a bit more of this away than I would have liked. But I suppose, as the saying goes, if you buy cheap, you buy twice. And a good juicer is not cheap. Not that this is bad, but it's perhaps why it's not pulling everything through, or maybe I'm just being a bit harsh and actually it'd be the same no matter what juicer I was using. So I did get rid of one of these while it was juicing, and I'm just going to get rid of this last bit now. For people who aren't doing a plan like this, who are just juicing like just because they just want a morning juice, or they might do a couple of juices in the day, a lot of them will use the pulp that's left over and they'll put it in recipes, sauces. I've seen people do things like making breads, not breads, like putting it in meatballs and stuff like that, or they put it in like biscuit things. Not for me personally, but you know, each to their own. So I'm going to put 250 in each of these bags because it's given me 500 on the nose. Can't read it. So I just try and squeeze as much of the air out as I can. And then I just lay them down like this, and then I'll just stack them up in the freezer when the time comes. It is really important actually to try and get as much of the air out of it as possible, or to use jars and not leave a lot of air in the top. If you're storing it, if it's for like, you know, a day, I really don't think it's going to be that much of an issue. But if you're storing it for a few days, then effectively, if you don't do this, you're just losing all the nutrients. So what I used to do with my old juicer, I don't know if it'll work for this one, is I used to just put a little bit of water in and rinse it through. I'm not sure how that's going to go with this, but we'll try it. And then we'll get on to the next one. I don't know how people do this, like making the juices fresh all the time, because it can be a bit of a faff, I think, personally. Which is why I prefer to batch, because, well, I mean, I'm not here in the day anyway, so I can't, but even if I was, you just feel like you just packed up from one juice and then you're getting your juicer back out again. It's a bit annoying. But once you've done this, then you've done the big long bit, and it's just the blending up or just drinking afterwards if you don't want to do blending with ice. The last time I had this, I was a bit unsure about fennel, but it's nice. It makes your drinks nice and liquishy. We've seen Ruby out there playing with the dog in the snow. well, seems to have a bit of a jam with the celery. I'm yet to try a juice that this doesn't happen with, so if anyone happens to have stumbled across this video who's got a really good one that you can actually do celery with without it getting stuck every 2 minutes, that would be amazing. Right, let's get this done. That end on there, to be honest. Right, that'll do for now. Let's go.